Hi, Vienne. How are you?
Hi, good
Vienne,
afternoon.
good afternoon. Nice to see you. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm so delighted to invite Vienne Lee to teach you about Mandarin, and then learn Mandarin is very important. Because my first language is not English, it's not Mandarin at all. In Hong Kong, we do have lots of interviews will be conducted in English and Mandarin. Um, learning these skills is very important for you. I'm very happy to have Vienne. Vienne, actually, thank you so much for your time and the opportunities to work with you because I received your message. Yeah, it's interesting that Mandarin is very important to people. So I want to work with you and have this kind of life. So that is how we get started our relationship. And always, as always, I think your video is very inspiring. Only 1 hour, sorry, one or 2 minutes, okay, and then it's very to the point. I like it so much. And also research your companies doing AI, doing finance, doing education, all those things. So it's really, really interesting. Maybe perhaps is it possible that you can introduce, yourself to the audience? Or, yeah.
Wonderful, Keith. Thank you for your introduction. You basically summarized very well. Yes, Vienne Lee here. Good afternoon, everybody. And I'm the founder of Finance Mandarin. Finance Mandarin is actually backed by investors. We have investors to support us, and we develop an AI, artificial intelligence learning platform for students to learn anywhere. Our students is mainly from the capital market, both for the buy side and sell side. So our clients are either from like hedge fund and asset management, private equity, investment bank, private bank, and lots of law firm and advisory firm. So our students come to us is mainly with three objectives they want to achieve. As I always tell them, you're learning Chinese is not only just the linguistic itself, because our senior executive come to us is mainly have three objectives. Number one, they want to enhance and empower the communication skill in finance Mandarin. And number two, they want to build GuanXi, as we always emphasize, and trust with your Chinese stakeholders. Nowadays, the China capital market is opening, and whether you can talk to the regulators and talk to your JV partners, communicating in Chinese, talk to them in Chinese to show your commitment in learning Chinese and commit to the China market. And number three, that's most important. You need to close the deal and make a sound judgment. And how can you do that? Learn the first-hand information from Chinese, not just from the Western translators or the newspaper. You need the first-hand information. So come to Finance Mandarin. We help you to achieve these three major objectives. So this is all in all. And myself, I've been coaching for senior executive in the banking and finance sector for 20 years.
Wow.
Currently, empowered by the Finance Mandarin AI platform, I'm leading 200 professional teachers in China and around the world to provide online Mandarin training for people from different financial hubs. So now if you're listening, whether you're fund managers, investment banker, sell side, buy side, or top consultants, advisory for risk management, come to join us. You will get a lot of tips and practical takeaways. We're guaranteeing you, right? And if something I can't answer today with this only 18 minutes practical workshop, Keith is an excellent career advisor. Ask him for some practical thing like cover letters and how to preparing for your resume. Today is mainly focused on job interview rehearsal. That's the most important thing. And at the same time, I'm going to tell you three stories because story always can attract more people. Those three stories are number one, how can a banker from a banker to become a finance regulators? How many finance regulators in Hong Kong? We have Hong Kong EX, we have SFC, we have Hong Kong MA. Let's go to the story. No name will be revealed, but story
Yeah,
is true.
sure.
So number two, we're going to have the story talking about a banker from sell side to buy side. There's different mentality and different kind of skill set you need in the financial market. And number three, the story we're talking about how an experienced banker to transfer his job to a CFO in a listed company in China capital market. So this is all good stuff, and I'm going to share with you and then summarize the tips that you can apply immediately. Our target for training is what you learn is memorable and is relevant and then you can use tomorrow or your next job. So again, doing interview is not easy. Our lots of students are excellent in job interviews in English because they have the charisma. They have to know how to do presentation. However, speaking in Mandarin, which is not your first language, which is not your mother tongue, it takes lot more preparation. Find a top first class trainers which can help you to land into your dream job. That's the investment you should consider to invest. So this is the basic information. Let's start, because we're at the same time we're open for question, right? You have any question, write to Keith immediately, and he's the best host. He can look at the question. If we have time, we'll definitely immediately reply to you. If we don't, keep the conversation open. Email to Keith or email to Vienne Lee directly. Connect with me in LinkedIn, and we're opening to the opening dialogue and practical conversation and carry on the training for you.
Yeah, can't wait for hear the stories. But basically you always summarize everything in a short, few minutes. That's really good. I like it. And basically what I feel that is your work for the most smart people, the banking side, and and also grooming industry, the China thing. So it's really good. So I can't wait for hearing the stories. Maybe we can have some more questions later on, how we can master the interviews in Mandarin or whatever. But I really can't wait for the stories.
You're indeed very right. Our successful is because our amazing student and wonderful student. When our clients success, we also become successful. We get investors invest heavily in the artificial intelligence platform so that we can combine all the expertise together, and then we can train the student, even they are not just in Asia, all the financial hubs, they can join with us to learn. Yes, our students are smart. Not only smart, they are intelligent. However, one thing, they are busy. So all the students say, I'm busy. I do want to learn Chinese. However, I don't have time. How can I allocate my time to learn? I think it's only priority. You need to prioritize your effort. Allocation, we always say asset allocation. Now is the time allocation. So the three story, all our students are clever, smart. They are in a senior level. Mainly currently, I only select a handful of students to coach. They are mainly vice president or above, VP, director, managing director, partner, or board members. Within this kind of mentality, they already know a lot of things. However, linguistic plus cross-cultural communications and understand the Chinese market and Chinese political landscape. This is important. And speak Chinese with confidence is also important. So the first one I want to share with you is how can a banker to transform to become a regulator. As all people know that bankers is like to maximize the return for the investor, for the stakeholders. As the regulators, your mission is to protect the investors and to educate the consumer. Is there any conflict there? So when you want a bigger mission, when you buy in for the regulator's idea, you want to apply for the job, whether in IPO listing or in different index or new product valuations or any enforcement. So you need to prepare what are your target when you transfer to the regulator's job. So how can we help a student when the student come to us as a senior banker, a managing director in the legal department in a top bank already? He thinking about it's a time to transfer, to transit from the one side to another side. So when he come to us, his Mandarin already quite good and can talk daily conversation, can order some nice dinner. However, in a job interview, what will be on? Let's say if the regulator, you need much more. For example, do you understand the mission? Like, for example, if you understand the listing new regulation laws, the dual system, do you know what's the latest policy for the ESG or for the green finance? Yes, you need to know that. So how can we know that? Come to the number one tip I want to emphasize is do your preparation. Interview, the most important thing, everybody will agree, do your preparation. However, how do you do it? So do the preparation, not only looking at the website of the company that you're going to join, but you need to study the competitors or the
Yeah.
related parties of that company. Let's say if you're going to join Hong Kong EX or as SFC or Hong Kong MA, do you understand China's equivalent regulators? Do you understand PBOC? Do you understand CSRC or CBIRC or even SAFE? If you're the insider in the capital market, you know what I'm talking about. Because these are the major Chinese regulator for finance, for the open door policy. If you don't understand this kind of macro economy, how can you join the Hong Kong regulators? Because Hong Kong regulator is a part of the Chinese biggest umbrella. So we will prepare and give a guidance for our student to look at for this information. But as a senior managing director, you're already dealing with those people. So we're not telling you what are they doing, the nature of business. We're actually doing the role play. So again, come to the interview preparation. So we'll list all the different scenarios. If you're legal, if you're in enforcement, or if you're in IPO listing, different nature, you require different kind of specific preparation. So number one, we'll prepare for the role plays and rehearse for that, videotape. So in terms of question, interview question, Keith, we can add in more. Number one was some standard question. Like you need to know your history very well. Don't forget any job that you forgot, right? And then prepare, we have a 101 interview question. That's all the standard question, interview question. If you come to the training, all we go through for that one. However, after the basic information, you need to prepare something very specific. As I shared in LinkedIn before, the interviewer will ask you, can you tell me what are the current situation like in the asset management, the licensing? How can you make sure that licensing application is on time? And then you can successfully apply for the asset license for your company. Wow, this is another big job. So we'll prepare the scenarios and then we'll do the role play, we'll videotape them, and then we'll give you a lot of positive feedback and constructive comment on that. So this is only the small cases to show that how can we help banker would like to transfer to do as regulator. This is only the iceberg, tip of the iceberg to show how we can help you to prepare. And remind you again, as the Chinese regulator, what are the mentality, what they're thinking, and even what are the background for them. For example, we highlight one thing. Do you know CSRC and the chairman, Yi Huiman? Previously, he's actually working for ICBC for 27 years. If you understand this kind of connection, you know how to prepare for answering a specific question. So highlight again, that's the interview preparation. And this is like for the rehearsal we need to do. And having said that, of course, Keith, you already mentioned about like covering letter is very important. Your resume are also very important. But in Finance Mandarin here, we give you one more added value. You need to prepare a professional, edit well Chinese CV. Your resume in Chinese. Do you agree for that?
Yes.
And one thing, don't translate just directly from here. Avoid this kind of startup, please. You need bilingual by culture. You need to translate in the context. We're always working with a different recruiter to help the candidate to translate the best in the Chinese resume, because you need to translate the essence, your achievement. And some wording maybe not in Chinese, you need to translate properly, IPO, M&A, and your achievement or sales volume like this. So we also provide a translation. It's important. Help yourself, ask your friend to get the translation well done. And since we have 70% of a student is Westerners, Mandarin is not their first tongue, mother tongue, and also they don't write Chinese very well, and even they don't have a Chinese name. So if you just say put David, Peter, translate phonetically, no one remember you. A name is so important that indicate your Chinese, your character. So we also give a Chinese craft a Chinese name for our people, our students.
More than a fortune teller.
Exactly. Because a Chinese name, we have a lot of excellent Chinese name I can share with you. And then the Chinese name indicate you understand the Chinese culture, perhaps. You understand the expectation of a parent from a son or a daughter. The name means a lot. So prepare a Chinese name, get your Chinese resume ready, do your rehearsal. The three are so important. So this is one part that we are sharing at this moment. So if at this moment you have any questions, because our solution is customized. If you are from asset management, or you have from pension fund, if from private banks, before the lesson, this meeting started, I will get a lot of inquiry as I share with you. They all ask, Vienne, can we get some private training for the interview training? Prepare for the next interview. Definitely, we can help you. So it's all tailor-made different kind of solution, and then we can help them to success. So the next one that I'm going to mention about the story is from buy side, from a sell side to buy side.
Yeah.
Probably maybe from investment bank to private equity, because the mentality is different. Buy side, sell side is more short term. Maybe immediately you need to see the effect and the return. But however, for buy side, maybe pension fund and mutual fund, they could hold the value investment perhaps like from 5 years to 20 years longer. So the mentality is different. So we have an experience is actually the student get prepared. The question is, if an interviewer just asks you, let's say, Peter, could you please compare like Tencent and Alibaba's business model in Mandarin? They didn't ask you how good your Mandarin is. They don't need to. Just ask you compare the business model. Can you speak it confidently, talking about the business models, the valuations, the business lines, and what are the innovations or what are the challenges at this moment for e-commerce? And at the same time, not only compare Alibaba and Tencent, you can bring out Meituan, and you bring out Jingdong. This is all the popular e-commerce giants currently in Hong Kong, in China. So this is important. So when we prepare a banker, if you're working, want to transfer from investment bank to private equity, number one, we prepare them the question that the buy side will always ask, and the mentality they want to do. And also when you know Blackstone and Blackstone very well, like Larry King, Larry Finn, and then you also know the Steve Schwarzman. However, for Chinese, who are the Chinese Warren Buffett? Can you name some? So we always do the matching and make you be available and be capable to mention about the Chinese intelligence in Chinese. Again, go back to your preparation tip, rehearsal. Interview rehearsal is so critical and important. So you talk to your trainer, do a one-to-one training, and after training, if it does a lot of pronunciation drills and sentence pattern, come to Finance Mandarin AI platform, the artificial intelligence driven learning portal. You can do your voice input, that the accuracy of your catching your pronunciation is really accurate. And then you have no embarrassing. You can repeat it 10 times, 20 times until you get the perfect pronunciation. And then after this kind of drill work, and then come back to your trainer. It's the best utilize your time and money and value for learning. So you can do anytime, anywhere, 24-hour access to Finance Mandarin, and then learn the 300 vocabulary that we have the Finance Mandarin index for all the finance capital market. Like, for example, how to say due diligence, and how to say the value investment, how to say the risk and return, right? This is our basic. So come here is mainly we prepare you within a short time. You have a very significant result and deliverable. Again, preparation makes perfect. You need to do the preparation, but with guidance, not just like swimming in the ocean. You never don't know from point A to point B. If you have direction, you know what to do. So this student, because have a very clear idea, he wants to work for this PE firm, the one of the biggest PE firm, with the market cap is more than 250 billion. So well prepared for the role play and understand who's the founder of the PE and understand what are the latest investment ventures they've been doing. So you can always prepare, well prepared. The last bit you need to prepare is a question. If the interviewer asks you, do you have the last question? Any question you want to ask?
That's important,
That's important, right? You can immediately ask, what's my compensation? Don't.
No, no,
Because in the
no, no.
market, in the market, you know your value. Okay, so you know what you deserve. You need to ask the question again to reiterate your value, what you can contribute to your future job company, your boss. You need to add value, bring insight and wisdom to the company that you're going to work for by asking the question to show that you're the insider, not the outsiders. So this is another one. We're successfully helping a banker from the sell side to the buy side because we try to bring out lots of the cases in PE and what are the trends in China. Again, so preparation is so important. So number 3, we're talking about how can we help a banker working for a banker to become the CFO
Yeah.
in the listed company. One of the excellent example everybody knows. Let me throw this Martin now. He is the CEO of a Tencent. Previously, he's been working for Goldman Sachs. Of course, everybody knows Goldman is one of the biggest investment firm in the world. And Martin actually is one of the team member helping Tencent to go to IPO in Hong Kong back many years ago when the stock price only $4. Now today is almost 420 now.
Yeah.
So this is not our student, but I just want to show you this is an example. Of
The
course,
successful case, yeah.
You did excellent well in your job. You impressed your boss, the future boss already. So the job interview is just reiterate again how you can contribute to the future success or what kind of a challenge that you can foresee in this company. And then you provide your solutions for your boss because they want to talk to you is already a good sign because they want to pick your brain. They want to get your idea, see whether you're the suitable person to do the job. However, one of my tips, listen, this is a very important tip. Be careful. When people pick your brain, you need to think about it. Be careful because maybe this kind of like tips is this kind of intelligent is not you shouldn't immediately share because this is something maybe they just want to understand how can you help other competitors. So during the interview, the tips, if they ask you in Mandarin, perhaps you don't know how to reject, how to say it. So we'll prepare this kind of like transitional phrases. For example, like, I understand your question. This is a little bit sensitive. I will put it in this way and reply to you, or say in Chinese. So you won't be stuck and then you will say, oh, I don't need to say anything. So preparing this kind of question in Chinese as a transitional sentences, and then you can still protect yourself, protect your intelligence until you sign a contract, and then you contribute to your future boss. So again, that means is like you will prepare for the interview questions and then how to protect yourself. Of course, never bad mouth for your previous boss, and then prepare for the intelligence, the right time, the right place to share. Maybe not immediately. So this is the very important tips to help our senior executive, especially for this kind of job interview, because that means it's a commitment, it's an intelligent exchanging. So watch out. So this is something that 3 cases to share a little bit, but again, I emphasize as preparation. If you look at all the top excellent interview trainer, they will tell you the other thing, your body language, your eye contact, and your wear, your dressing, always important. But finance Mandarin, as the pillars of finance Mandarin, is a linguistic, plus cross-cultural communication and market intelligence. And we are in this area to support our senior executive to looking for the next job when the Mandarin, the interview will be conducted in Mandarin. So this is my summary for today. Before we're closing up, see Keith, is any questions so far? Because and then I'm going to make a summary before we're closing for today.
Okay, wow, it's excellent to share with all the successful stories. And in each of your successful stories, you also give some tips, okay? Prepare the interviews, and then, it's not only, I was just expected only like know some business jargons or terms, but then you're saying that you need to know the culture, know the people, and then you have the Chinese CV, you have the Chinese name. You really cover everything in your finance Mandarin, and I guess the AI platform is also really smart technologies that you can train and learn. So even though preparation is everything, you can train and learn and practice. So thank you so much for your sharing. And I understand that people know that Mandarin is very important, okay? But how important that you already showed that in the three scenarios, three cases. So if you can master that skills, you can learn more Mandarin, then definitely you can get a good job in China, in Hong Kong, and work with the Chinese people. Yeah, that's really good, really good.
Excellent summary. So I will give this last tip for all our connection today. I will quote with PBOC, the governor, Yi Gang, what he said in the consumer protection and investor education. He said the last thing, 天上掉馅饼的事儿是不会发生的. That means there's no meat pie falling from the sky. Everything, if you work hard, you will get the result. You need to cultivate it. So learning a Chinese is a long term, is your pension fund. However, start earlier, the better. And find the best value, best time to allocate, to invest. So welcome to join Finance Mandarin to enhance your communication power and well prepare for your next job and your dream job. And this is Vienne Lee again from Finance Mandarin. Excellent, Keith. This wonderful show. Looking forward to seeing you for next time. If you want to get more tips, perhaps we in the coming future will have much more to share for today. So that's wonderful. Thank you very much for your invitation today.
Yeah, thank you very much for becoming the guest. Okay, so yeah, we'll work with you together, and I hope that everyone could learn and add some values to them. Thank you so much for your time, Vienne.
Excellent. Thank you. See you
Okay,
soon.
see you soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.